is Gracie, and I'm going to be your nurse today. I'm going to start off, provide some hand hygiene, and provide us with some privacy. Can you tell me your name and date of birth?
Carter Matthews, May 11th, 2006.
Okay, and I'm going to check your wristband. Okay, everything looks good. The doctor has ordered for us to do a full head-to-toe assessment. Does that sound okay to you? Okay. I'm going to begin with a couple of questions. So first, do you have any allergies? Okay, and are you in any pain today? Okay, and who's our president?
Donald Trump.
Okay, so based on his answers, I was able to assess his consciousness and orientation, and everything looks good, so no problems there. He has no physical deformities, and his dress and groom is appropriate for the weather, and everything. Just assessing his skin color, it looks appropriate for his ethnicity, even distribution, so that looks good. Nothing abnormal about his facial expressions, and he has seemed to be alert and hold eye contact. So now I'm going to assess your skin, hair, and nails. So I'm just going to look at your hair and your scalp. Okay. So his hair seems to be evenly distributed. No problems there. And we did already assess his skin color, but we are going to get the temperature and make sure everything seems normal there. So if you'll put your hips down, just gonna feel upper and lower. So he is warm bilaterally, so that looks good. And now we're gonna take a look at his nails. Okay, seems to have good hygiene, a good color. There's no clubbing going on, and while we're here, we will go ahead and check for capillary refill. So he is good because his color comes back within 3 seconds, so no problems there. And then I'm just gonna move on to head and face. So I'm just gonna inspect. It looks symmetrical, normocephalic, so that looks good. Have you been having any headaches lately? No? Okay. Then I'm gonna move on to your ears. So they also seem to be symmetrical. I've been able to observe that he has pretty good hearing through this test, but not this test. Through this, but if he did not have good hearing, we would do the whisper test, and that is where he will cover one ear and I'll stand behind him and whisper, and he will just repeat what I say. Have you been having any earaches or anything like that? No? Okay, we'll move on to your eyes. I'm gonna shine this light and I'll have you follow it. Yeah, you can take those off. Okay, and just look into it. Okay, and then follow this. All right, so that seems good. His pupils are about 4 millimeters in size, and his perla, so everything good there. Have you been having any vision problems lately? No? All right. Now I am just looking at his nose, and it seems to be symmetrical too. So we're gonna check your nasal patency. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna hold one side and just make sure. Okay. Another side. All right, good on both. Have you been having any nosebleeds or anything like that? No? All right, good. We're gonna move on to mouth, throat, and neck. So I'm gonna have you just open, and we're gonna inspect your oral mucosa. Okay, looks pink and moist, no signs of decay or anything like that. Can you swallow? All right, looks good, so no problems there, and everything seems to be symmetrical midline. You are good, but if we were doing the Glasgow-Coma scale, you are 15. What that does is checks your eyes, motor, and verbal responses. And have you been having any throat aches or anything like that? No? All right, well, we're going to move on to respiratory. So I'm just gonna check your rate. So if you just breathe like normal. Okay, respiratory rate is 14 and your breathing is even and unlabored. So that is good. Have you been having any cough or sputum? No? Okay, and have you been having any problems breathing?
No.
All right, well, I'm just gonna listen to your breathing. Okay, we're gonna start right upper. Just breathe like normal. Right lower. Okay, left lower. Okay, wait, start over. Sorry. Right upper. Okay, left upper. Left lower. Right lower. Okay, and if you'll lift your arms, I'm gonna listen on your sides. Okay, and turn, I'm gonna listen back. All right, right upper. Left upper. Left lower. Right lower. Okay, everything sounds good there. I will educate you on the incentive spirometer since you haven't been having any cough or sputum. You're good, but if we did have you use it, what you would do is you would take a deep breath into it and hold it for like 3 to 5 seconds, and then you would let it out, and you'll do this 10 times every hour. If you weren't able to do this, we would have you turn, cough, and deep breathe. So you literally just turn over, you cough, and then you take a deep breath. Any questions here? No? All right, well, we're gonna move on to cardiac. So I'm gonna have you lean back a little bit and then look from side to side, and we're just checking for any JVD, and there's no JVD present. So that is good. We are going to palpate your radial. So okay, +2 bilaterally. And then we're gonna palpate your posterior tibial. Okay, +2 bilaterally. And then we're gonna palpate your dorsalis pedis. Okay, +2 bilaterally. So you're good there. Some other locations that we could check are your carotid, your brachial, your femoral, popliteal, and your axillary. But we won't be doing those today. So I am just gonna listen to you a little bit. So we're gonna start aortic. Okay. Pulmonic. Herbs. Tricuspid. And then mitral. Okay, everything sounds good. We would use the bell, and we would typically do this directly on the skin, and we would also use the bell if we were checking for any murmurs, but we aren't doing that today. So you're good, and we have already checked your capillary refill, so we won't have to do that again. But we will check for edema, so if you'll just give me your arms. Okay, no edema present, and your legs. No edema present. Okay, so have you been having any chest pains or anything like that? All right, good. So we'll move on to gastrointestinal. So I'm gonna have you just lift up your shirt, and we're gonna inspect your skin. Okay, you're good. Everything looks good there. And now we're going to listen to your bowel sounds. Everything seems to be good there. And now we're just going to Alright. And when was your last bowel movement?
This morning.
Okay. Have you been having any stomach problems, anything like that? Okay. And has there been any burning or anything like that when you're urinating? All right. Well, that sounds good. We'll move to musculoskeletal. So we're gonna start with this arm, and I'm gonna have you flex and extend, and then I'm going to apply a little bit of pressure. So same thing. Okay. All right. Other side. Okay. Okay. Now we're gonna move to your wrist. Okay. Pressure. All right. Now we're gonna go to your knees. Hold on. All right. Now. Okay. Okay. All right. And now your ankles. Okay. And this ankle. Okay, for sure. All right, and now we're going to assess your gait and balance. So I'm gonna have you get up, walk that way, and then when you walk back towards me, so you can go ahead and walk that, okay? When you walk back towards me, you're gonna do the toe. Okay, you're good to sit down. Gait and balance all seems good, nothing irregular or out of the norm. Have you been having any problems when you're walking? All right. Well, everything looks good today, and thank you for your time.